Morning, ladies and gentlemen, players and playettes. So I had a couple more reflections, but first I want to give out shout out to all my frenemies, the hoochies on Facebook, DEA agents, FBI, confidential informants, whatever you may be, following me and show me that ass and titties, letting me have a good time. Appreciate you. Thank you. Well, I was obviously I reflect a lot on what's happened to me and my journey, my walk in life, and my eternal struggle, my internal struggle. And so, the way I do things is I try to put myself in the opposition's shoes. So, and now imagine you spent the better part of 20 years studying someone, investigating them. You know, obviously you have rooms and rooms of information dedicated on, trying to crack me, whether it be for scientific reasons, political reasons, or criminal reasons. The fact is that you've invested a better part of your life on me, and you're listening in, watching me in the cells, trying to figure me out, trying to set me up, trying to connect me to the Mexican mafia, you know, obviously trying to psychoanalyze me and trying to figure out what attracts people to me, and and you can't pin me down. Uh, I'm on the verge of going home, and I'm escaping your grips. And I made a conscious decision to not to be violent, and so these people, uh, seeing that I stopped putting up a fight, and that's when the hate was put on me in Calipat, and they realized that I had made a conscious decision not to, not pretty much not to stay in jail, not to stay in prison. I wanted to go home and have a family, and to them, obviously, that's gonna be a heartbreaker, or that's gonna throw away years of work that they've accumulated, and so now we go to the hospital. They shoot me up. Who knows what they shoot me up with? What kind of drugs it is? But obviously, put me down, and the more I think about it, the guy that woke me up and was trying to keep me from laying down or keep me going out, he had a strange. He resembled my grandma, Grandma Adela on my stepdad's side, and I'm not sure, but he could or could not be my cousin Gustavo Chinchilla. I have to look into that, but obviously they have me quarantined and such. Anyway, so now they gave me this shot, puts me down. I'm gonna get away. Now the scientific subject arises about energy and and such, and I related to you guys that I heard some kind of X-ray machine uh, under the bed. So it's not too far to say that you know they were attempting to grab you know frequency, your body's frequency or your mind's frequency. Fast forward to the surgery where they implant uh, something into my hand. So now they easily have a GPS on you. But if they were able to grab a frequency, like I mentioned, our body runs on electricity, and and obviously our brain connections are through electricity. Uh, what's to say that they did not connect the two and use it to get into my mind and obviously into my eyes because uh, well, I'll explain later. Well, as soon as I moved to Moreno Valley, I started noticing unmarked trucks at all the communication hubs on the main streets. Unmarked cars, unmarked trucks doesn't make sense. If usually you work for the city, or you work for the city works on those things, and they come in with trucks labeled with whatever various brands they may have, and I noticed that they were working all around the street, almost as if they were um, building a wall of communication around me, and that's when I believe that I went live as far as my hand and my eyesight goes, and and I believe this to be true because people from my childhood would seek me out, people from middle school, people that I've known since elementary school would randomly find me, and I really wouldn't go anywhere. I would go very few places, obviously because I was in fear of being harmed, as you know, you know, I had a right to be so, as obviously a lot of different things that happened, including kidnappings and assaults and stuff like that. So I get back to the subject of uh, these things were, some of the things I mentioned before, I might not have been able to explain them step by step, but it's 20 years of bullshit. It's only one of me, and it's literally hundreds of them. So, uh, anyway, so I believe at that time that they were setting up maybe a 5K internet system, or a different kind of communication system, telecommunication system, to keep track on me and to run obviously what I believe it has become me being a live video game here, and uh, pretty much, excuse me, keeping me uh, live and blocking out people who they didn't want to see me, um, or or people that would maybe attempt to help me and keep them away from me, as it's been obvious that these people around me know who I am, what I am, but nobody will say my name and nobody will approach me. And although I do seem scary to some people, uh, I mean, there's a lot of people out there that don't look at me like that, and you know prior to this happening, would easily approach me, and people would be attracted to me and open up to me, and that's something that I noticed has been gone, and everything's a secret, uh, except that it's not, because I noticed, because I live my life speaking to people and not speaking to a phone, or a camera, or on a Zoom meeting, or whatever it might be, uh, and so uh, the things that they were infatuated with, uh, when they became missing out of my life, I guess they thought I wasn't going to realize that people were going to react differently towards me, and maybe they didn't know that I knew that uh, I carried the law of attraction, or whatever it may be, uh, laws of physics, or um, the God creators, you know, um, hand on my shoulder, because I just, at the end of the day, I just try to help people, even though at times I've been derailed. But I went noticing these things, and obviously that becomes a danger to um, the immediate government, and to who knows how many other people, or obviously politicians, and all these people are invested in following me, you know whether it be for many different reasons across the spectrum. But when somebody starts figuring this out, well, obviously that's going to put them in danger, and make me uh not a flight risk, but somebody at risk to tell all, and to survive, and to tell it how it is, and and uh and yeah, pretty much my estranged family. I believe that they were in cahoots with those doctors and in the mental hub in San Diego, and and the only thing I don't understand is why they took away, why they made me sterile. I don't understand what the point of that was, and I'm wondering if they used my, you know, sounds crazy, but I don't think it is. If they used my sperm to make, uh, in vitro fertilization, because a matter of fact, a few of the women that are with were speaking to me about those type of things, and uh, and they really didn't fit in on the conversations that we were having. So them bringing it up, being confidential informants, uh, leads me to believe that there was a reason behind it, and I don't know why. If they're scared of um, I don't know what would lead them to believe that um, it'd be wrong for me to reproduce and to have children. Uh, but only these crazy ass fucking doctors or these people who are infatuated with my life, but love me but hate me and perpetrate uh, to be otherwise, to call themselves my family because we have the same last name. But these people are terrible people. They're heartless people, and you know I hope they live a long life behind prison bars, or they pay for their wrongdoings. Because in all honesty, you've been following me. You're saying I'm a pariah to society, but you guys have been doing everything wrong, and trying to uh, act like you're the hands of God, when in reality, uh, you're not. Just because you have some money or you have some kind of college degree doesn't make you any smarter than the rest of us, and certainly not smarter than me. No matter what you think, because obviously, I'm here today, still standing and still speaking, and although my life has become, uh, it's more difficult, you know. Uh, the more scars that I've healed from, it just makes me a deeper and better person, and my soul has grown so large that I feel like I have too. And yeah, so now now imagine they can grab your frequency from your head, um, obviously, or your body. It's obviously that they can get in your mind, and the danger behind this is now you're leaving our actions up to other men, and these men are evil and can make you do bad things and have bad thoughts. And what if that was the goal of the whole time, to get me back behind bars and have me in a controlled situation where it can continue to do what they wanted with me. And if I wouldn't have been able to somewhat control my feelings or my thoughts, um, I could have easily ended up in jail or prison again. And that's why I believe that they were making drugs easily accessible to me, especially in the bar, having everybody with fuck coke and drugs, and everybody passing shit, people calling themselves cops, confidential informants, everybody easily handing me drugs, attempting, you know, to attempting to make it easier for me to loosen my inhibitions and my control over myself and my mind, and cause me to commit a crime that would eventually put me behind bars, which was always their goal. As uh, the information will show later, that a big scheme was initiated to keep me locked up and to keep me from the people, and from keeping them from realizing who I am and the words that I speak and the positivity that I preach. Thank you for listening. Uh, no presidency for you, people. Long live the raza, and love you.